Hello everyone and welcome to the 10th round of the Formula SimRacing World Championship. We are here at Melbourne, the Australian Grand Prix. Q1 is underway. We should apologize for the late start. It was a little bit hectic and you might think, wait, you are not Chris or Johnny. No, I'm indeed not. Because basically I just got asked to do the commentary, so here I am. Anyway, enough about that. Q1 is underway, as I've said. 2.5 minutes left. Currently Morgan Morant is in the first position with a 24.0, so he's once again looking strong. We all know that Morant is a very strong driver. And then we see in second place Bono, who is only a 10th off Morant, so not too bad. I do expect very close gaps here around this track, as we have seen in Ace and Pro as well. It is very close around this track, and World Championship is going to be even closer, I guess, than all the other series. But looking at that 10th spot, currently Rob van Starkenburg is in there, and he is on an out lap, I think, so he should be okay to do another lap, another hot lap. Around that F position as well, we see Ivar Kelemes and Peter Berljak, and it's so close. Once again, I mean, if Peter just improves by 1/10, he's already in the top 10, so that says enough. Sorry for the sound there. Again, technical difficulties. We will get another commentator sorted, so no worries there. Let's have a look. Rob van Starkenburg currently in 11th place, going to start his lap. Ivar Kelemes is currently not on a lap, I think. He actually is, I think. So he needs to. Yeah, he is. So he needs to improve, but he has something in front of him. Don't really think it's holding him up that bad. Although now it is. So this might be. Kelemes, if he gets held up a little bit, I don't know if he has enough fuel to do another lap, but here he comes anyway. The DRS is obviously wide open and the lap time is going to be a 1:24.4. So no, still 11th place, and they crash. Oh, Ivar Kelemes crashes actually into the back of Rudholm. Wow. Anyway, Ivar Kelemes out. Next one to outside the top 10 to cross the line is Peter Berljak. So Twister car. Let's have a look at this middle sector time. It's 22.8, which is not too bad, but it's so close here, the gap. So he needs to improve. He needs to do a good final sector. I don't know what his first sector time was. I'm starting off my second screen, my laptop, to see the live timing. Let's have a look at his first sector actually. It's a 0.6. That is very decent actually. So here we go. DRS is wide open for Peter as he's going to cross the line. Isn't enough for the top 10. Here he comes, 24.3. It puts him in 10th position. That's what I meant. He only improved by 1/10, but it puts him into 10th spot. Now, Jack Heafley. 22.6 from Keithley in the middle sector. That's a very strong time from Keithley, so we might see him improving as well. Let's have a look at his first sector time, also a 0.6. So Keithley is looking into that top 10. Oh, he makes a mistake though. Yeah, I saw the mistake coming into turn 13, I think that is. Now he rounds up the final sector, coming through turn 15, a very difficult corner through turn 16. Now early on the throttle, DRS wide open for Jack Heafley. Will it be enough though? He made a little mistake, and will it be enough? No, it's not. Wow, 0.7 from Jack Heafley. A poor final sector. He lost about half a second, I would say. So that's definitely the key for him. Patrick DeWitt crosses the line, 15th place. Also not enough for him. And that is Q1 done, I believe. Kostadinov is entering the pits. He is through as well. So we see David Greco in the end tops the leaderboard, the time sheet, with a 23.9, followed by Morgan Morant. So it seems like David Greco is able to challenge Morant, but obviously we will go into Q2 now, and that is much more demanding for the drivers. A lot of pressure now for the drivers. Only the top 10 allowed to qualify, and well, this puts a lot of pressure on the drivers for sure. Okay, so it seems like Chris is going to join us here. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, definitely I'm here. Sorry for the delay there. Sorry that you had to take on the entire stream on your own. And it seems we already are up into Q2. So yeah, little inconvenience there for me. Nevertheless, I'm here. Thanks for the introduction. And you're here alongside me then.
Yeah, I am looking forward to this. I mean, I'm first World Championship commentary, but yeah, I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to this race. I mean, we have had good race in Pro, I believe. Also,
Yeah.
Ace, especially the sprint race in Ace was fantastic. So we're set up for a great race here, I think.
Yeah, certainly. And during the race, I mean, the last few laps, we've seen this guy, this Jeroen Kweekel. He went off. I mean, it ah, was such dramatic. But
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I had a lot of fun though, and you
yeah,
know.
I'm not gonna poke you with that. Sorry, but it was a great race. However, now it's time for Peter Briljak to show what he's made of. And well, he barely made it into top 10. I saw.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the gaps are so close here, even in
Yeah.
Q1 already. So he improved only by a 10th, and it put him up into a 10th position while he was in 12th before.
Well, and that's what we like to see, close gaps in the most competitive racing scene of RF2 at the moment. Rob van Starkenburg and Ivar Kellerman is definitely not names that you would round out of the top 10. However, I mean, there are so many top drivers. It's just so close and so insane. However, though, who will have the Q2 setup, which is set up the most of the best for during the race? There might be some drivers who are actually, taking into consideration they might not be up into the Q2 spot and entirely focus the setup onto the race. However, it has to be said that David Greco over the last few races, it seems like he should have done this earlier in the season to show this pace.
Yeah, he's doing an awesome job. We saw it already in the last race, but
Yeah.
again here he tops the timing sheet in front of Morgan Moran. So yeah, that says something, of course.
Indeed, and as we just said, that Peter Briljak is making his way around the final corner of this awesome looking track. Really, who doesn't love Australia here? And he is going for it. Let's see what he can do. Tops the top speed with 311 kilometers an hour, of course, with DRS open, and carries a lot of momentum through turn 1, although it didn't seem clean, Jeroen.
No, it did not really the most stable corner ever, but well, let's try to keep the momentum going here for the rest of the first sector. I wonder what his time will be. Of course, he wants a good time here, especially in the first sector. Very important first sector for your lap time for sure, and he does 28.7, so it's not too bad. It's average, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. So you're definitely looking for an improvement here onto the second part of this circuit. And if he would do a 24.5 or 24.6, maybe that would be giving him a nice grid slot. However, here are turn 10 and 11, a spectacular part of the circuit, and he does take it brilliantly.
Yeah, he did also 22.6 millisecond. He's looking for a good lap, I would say.
Yeah, would definitely be able to. A little bit of oversteer there. Won't compromise a lot. Carries a lot of speed here. And really, you can see the determination onto the steering movements of Peter here. As he crosses the DRS detection zone, he has only one straight to go. And it's a 124.247. Oh, he made up brilliantly after that first sector.
Oh yeah, 32.8 final sector, excuse me. So a great final sector as well. Same for the middle sector. So great lap from Peter Briljak.
So Martin Gosby now, second guy to try in the Twister Racing black car. Easy onto corner 1. Does carry a lot of. You can see there's a quick shift of back shift. He's keeping it together here, Martin. Definitely an amazing talent driving here in FSR. Already won his first race this year in Imola. Ooh, touches the edges of the track there.
Oh wow, yeah, he does indeed, and he's slightly down on the Briljak so far in the first sector, about half a tenth. So it's not a huge gap at all. See if he can make up for that in the second sector now.
Indeed, but it seemed almost that he had his two right wheels on the grass and the two left wheels onto the curb. So Definitely determined, let's put it like that. And carries a lot of speed through turn 11 and 11, of 10 and 11, sorry.
Once again, the 10th down in the middle sector, so well, about 2 tenths down on Brilliak so far. We're looking for a 0.4 here, as Brilliak also had an amazing final sector, so let's see what Gosby can do. She comes around the final corner, corner 16. Short shifting up to 4th. We see a lot of drivers doing that in the final turn. And now he's going to put in a lap time 24.4, so it puts him in second position, 2 tenths down.
Definitely not what he aimed for. It wasn't the perfect lap, although that sector 2 did seem rather fast. Nevertheless, it's his chance gone. There's now the chance of Ville de Pala, another experienced name into FSR, to show everyone what he's made of. Has got a little bit of troubling lines through turn 1, compromising lines I would say. And I miss a little bit. I miss the confidence in Ville's driving. He's really not eager to go fully onto the throttle, but he keeps it together nevertheless. But it does compromise his first sector time with a 28.898, so it's effectively a 28.90.
And also ran wide on the exit of turn 7, so he's not looking great either for the middle sector here. Once again, get some oversteer on the exit.
It's twitchy.
Yeah, indeed, it's looking twitchy, not looking stable at all.
So, Ville de Pala, Finn, can he keep his head together? Can he keep everything cool? The second sector time is at 22.796. So he really needs to improve on his third sector, but I don't think there's any possibility for that. The car is just looking out of balance, and here during the braking as well, twitching the steering wheel.
Yeah, this is a poor lap, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely not up there. We will have to wait. It's a 24.892, yeah. Unlucky for you, Phil. Unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky for him. Anyway, we move on to Carlos Martin now in the Crown 7 NetRX car, going to start his lap, finishing his outlap obviously. So he needs a good exit, a good run out of the final corner. Ooh, he doesn't really get that. Whoa, you saw the oversteer there.
Yeah, definitely, and the DRS open, so it won't compromise his lap too much, but definitely a few kph gone there. Nevertheless, keeps it steady and control to the first corner. Actually doesn't have any moments there of oversteer or anything. So let's see what this young, talented Spanish guy can do here. Ooh, eager to put throttle down. It's definitely another world on what we just seen with Lapala. Here we go. It's a 28.676 onto the first sector. So he's definitely up there.
That's purple.
It's purple indeed. Now he's looking for a 20. Ooh, a little bit twitchy under the braking. Keeps it together. 22.6 is his aim for the sector 2. And if he can pretty much tie that in sector 2, he might be able to come across into sector 3. However, 23.154 into sector 2.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time in the braking zone for turn 9, that is. So
half a second.
Indeed, half a second lost there. Once again, quite twitchy on the exit. We see a lot of drivers being eager with the throttle. Once again, he runs a little bit wide. Now slowing down for turn 15. Which looks pretty smooth, I would say. The final corner opening up the DRS. Oh, what will it be?
It is a 24.783. That was definitely that middle in the middle sector the mistake that cost him this, because he was effectively half a second down on his time that he just did. So nevertheless, it's that one lap, and if you make that one mistake, you're not getting that one pole position.
Indeed, so, that's very true.
So here comes Patrick Holzman, Ash Racing.
Dress is wide open as he heads down into the first chicane of this track. Oh, carrying a lot of speed into there. That was great commitment, I must say. Opening up the DRS, the second DRS zone, and heading down into the turn 3 now. Braking once again quite late. Turns it in smooth. This is a good first sector, I would say, from Patrick so far.
Definitely.
Very quick.
What can he do? 28.6 maybe even 0.5. It's a 0.5.
Wow. Oh, he he runs a little bit wide though.
Yeah, won't cost him a lot of time though, I do think.
No, it won't.
Let's see about it. Of course.
You can see he's exploring the limits. Oh, he touches the barrier.
And as you just said, that indeed he finds out what the limits actually are, and this will hurt him a lot. 22.825, but he loses it. He's done. Patrick Holzman is done. He realizes it. He aborts his lap, and that's P10 for Patrick Holzman. If nobody crashes, that is, before he stops his car. So unfortunately, his first sector was really looking promising, and yeah, well, clearly messed up.
Yeah, it really was, and it looked like it was all or nothing, and he just went for it. And sometimes you make these mistakes. It already started, of course, with that bump into the barrier, and you know it just catches your attention, and you forget about the rest of your lap, and you forget to focus, and that's exactly what happened there, I think.
Indeed, and now it's time for our favorite cheeky Greek guy, Jim Paris is here. I mean, with all the love, Jim, we won't hate you for it. You can show us what you're made of once again, and he does so with the DRS wide open onto the first corner of this track. Also reaches 311 kilometers an hour on the straights, and well, he's looking controlled.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. Yeah. Now turn 3 brakes really late and gets it slowed down nicely. This is beautiful from Jim Paris so far.
Yeah, backshift technique overpowered there. What will his first sector be? 8.644. That definitely looked a little bit quicker, but mind you, I mean, Patrick Holzman just did a 28.5 here. So just imagine if, but there's no if anymore. It's only the question for Jim Paris is if he will get pole position here, or at least pole for this moment. 22.676, so that's a similar, exactly on the thousandths of a second, similar to Peter Briljac's second sector. And now it's all in the last sector of this track. What will Jim do here? Obviously determined to show himself in a good clear sunlight. Let's put it like that.
Through the final couple of corners here, a little bit unstable on the exit of turn 15. Was again very eager with the throttle. He gets a good run though out of the final corner. This is going to be a good lap, I think.
Yeah, it will be. No, it won't be the fastest lap on this moment, because he is 32 thousandths of a second shy of Peter Briljak here. So that little mistake that you just pointed out, that unstable mistake, that definitely cost the pole. So Peter Briljak still up there as Jan Kostadinov makes his way onto the first corner of this track, and he does so beautifully. He has great lines through there and great stability as well. Late braking, ooh, and it backfires a little bit. Let's see how compromising his first sector time will be though.
It looked quick up until that point. I would say he lost about 1 or 2 tenths. Here we go. Oh, 28.9. It's not great at all, actually.
He will have the remainder of this lap, the second and a third sector, in order to make up for that mistake. But you know, it's already out there.
Oh, second sector looks very quick, I must say, early on the throttle as well. So he's going to carry a lot of momentum onto this straight now.
He's looking really confident and really fast, you know.
Yeah, he does indeed. 22.5. Purple, great time. Runs a little bit wide though, not going to compromise him that much though. He needs a very good third sector, I would say. He may be looking at P3, P2 maybe, depends on his final sector.
Well, there's not a big gap in between number 2 and number 1. And if he can keep this together and have some nice traction, which he actually is having, he might be able to do this. Jan Kostadinov driving for his own team. Event SimRacing does not clinch pole position for this moment. It's a 24.608, which leaves him on the 4th spot at this stage. But now it's time for 4 times world champion Bono Huis in order to shine. So let's see if he can shine again. He's clearly looking for a pole position. It has been some races since Bono has scored a pole position.
Very quick through the first chicane though, very good exit as well, so he carries a lot of momentum for this straight, heading down into turn 3. Let's see how late he brakes. Very late, and he gets it slowed down somehow. Very great driving from Bono so far. Once again, early on the throttle, this is going to be a good first sector. I would say it's going to be up there.
Yeah, it's really controlled. 28.593. Definitely a good point for him to start a pole position lap.
Yeah, it's purple so far. So we only saw the Goldsman going slightly faster than that. The half a tenth, a little bit unstable on the exit of that corner, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be a quick lap so far. It's looking like it.
So on the middle of the lap, 22.659, and carrying a lot of speed here. The momentum to turn 10 and 11 that Bono carried was immense, and this will definitely not slow him down. Quite the opposite, actually. We're looking here on a world champion performance. Look at that determination here.
He needs to do a 0.8 final sector, and he's looking for that for sure.
Oh, definitely. Here comes a pole position for this moment. It's Bono House driving for precision racing for it's a 24, no 23, but a 24.061. Tremendous performance from Bono House and the Precision Motorsport team.
Amazing lap. The momentum, as you have pointed out, the momentum was amazing through those quick right, left, right. Sorry, I don't know which corners it are, but anyway, Morgan Moran is going to start his lap right now.
Yeah, and this is something. Ooh, quickly on the shifts, and definitely another style of driving here from our favorite French guy Morgan Moran. But he's determined. Look at this. He's attacking every single square inch of the track. Ooh, really runs really wide there. So at 24.5 of 28.5 to look at 28.447.
Wow, 0.4. That impresses me so much. Look how aggressive he was on the exit as well. Amazing. 0.4. That's amazing.
Indeed, it's amazing indeed. I almost have no words for it, and he's right on the limit of this car, and maybe even over the limit, but keeping it under control. Here we go, turn 10 and turn 11. In the meantime, at 22.548 in the middle sector, Morgan Moran looking for pole position here. Only the last sector to. I'm losing my words. Help me.
Well, Huis did a 0.8 final second. He was a little bit wide there through corner 14. Once again makes a mistake. Oh, this is compromising him.
This is Precision versus Netrix here. Will Precision get Motorsports get pole position, or will it Morgan Moran for the Netrix team? It is Netrix with Morgan Moran 23.822. Amazing.
That's not possible. That is so impressive. I mean, that final sector, well, it didn't look the best. But still, he had an amazing final sector in the meantime somehow.
Yeah, what an alien. What an alien Morgan Moran did.
Yeah, we have to agree with that. 0.8 final sector, a little bit slower than Huis, but he had some mistakes in there, I'm sure. So, a very impressive final sector.
Will David Greco spoil the party of Netrix and Precision here by being, you know, the laughing number 3? He does carry a lot of speed into turn 1. David Greco looking really controlled.
His exit didn't look as quick as Moran or Huis.
I don't know.
We'll
he's really mid-corner speed of Greco is really high. He's looking so controlled. He's going on the throttle so early, and I think he will be in contention for a pole position. At 28.598, so 1/10 shy of Morgan Moran. However, it's not a done deal yet. He has still got 2 sectors in order to redeem himself. David Greco, one of those drivers that has shown so much progression in the season of Formula Sim Racing, and after the race wins of Indianapolis and Moons, that was amazing. 22.677 in sector 2.
He's looking at second place. It depends on his final sector, I would say. But yeah, if he gets a good one, he might be able to beat Huis. But pole would be a little bit too much, I think, as he runs a little bit wide.
Definitely now. I mean, I wanted to say that we have still got that one and only mistake Morgan Moran made right here. However, Greco doesn't have that mistake, but did cock up a little bit earlier on in a major moment, but keeps the car together. And nevertheless, still there's a 24.506 or 09, which leaves him onto 6th spot. But that car control of David Greco here.
Wow, I'm so impressed. I thought he was going to lose it, to be honest. I mean, I think he had his DRS again open as well, so.
If he didn't lose it like that, he would surely round out the top 3.
Yeah,
But
I think, yeah, for sure. That made it 3 tenths difference, I think.
Bono House just screaming onto the chat. I completed a lap, and he's really happy with that. I don't know if it's so troubling with the 22 cars on the grid that you can't even improve a lap. Wow, so this is definitely something. Morgan Morant, the only driver that makes it into the 23 seconds.
Yeah, indeed, and what a performance. I mean, we saw that lap. It wasn't perfect, definitely not by any means. I mean, we saw the final sector, which looked not great, but still it was up there with a low .8. I mean, very, very impressive, as always, from Morant.
I can just hear that smile of Morgan Morant. I mean, he gets pole position and he's like, ho ho ho, you know, I got, ho ho ho. No. But, ooh, some crashing going on at the end of the pit straight with Antonio Coleridge. A lot of drivers, well, eager to go out on the grid. It's the precision car of, I believe it was Bono or either the other one of Ivar. But, wow.
When Greco actually mentioning right now that he has some kind of problems with stuttering in game, so I hope he can sort that one out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, David already had that retirement of the... Oh, that was the case. I was already a little bit uncertain about my words just a minute ago. David Greco looked so promising in order to take his second win of the season in Italy until he hit that piece of front wing fragment onto the back straight of Monza before the Parabolica, and he basically had to retire from the win. Yeah, I won't count him out, even though on 6th place, and he has Morgan on pole and then Bono next to him. I still think if David has a great performance, that he will be the one for the win here. Although it would be immensely hard for him. We've seen the amount of grip that Morgan Morant carries, or the amount of grip that is not there, and Morgan Morant still keeping the car on the road. Bono Huis and Peter Briljak, Jim Paresis and Martin Gosby all in front of him. So I don't know.
I think it's going to be difficult for the opposition of Morant to challenge him. I mean, once again, he looks like an alien, as you have mentioned, and well, obviously we have Huis in fourth, in second position. Sorry. So yeah, I'm looking forward to another great battle between them, but I doubt it, honestly, because Morant seems to be so quick, but never ever underestimate Bono.
No, indeed, that's a good statement that you made. David Greco has just left the paddock, so to speak, in order to fix some problems with his computer. So hopefully he will be back in time, and Eduard will delay the start of the race a few minutes for it, I'm sure. But yeah, it's never nice and never gives you a confidence boost. Rather the opposite. If your computer starts to malfunction a little bit, or you get FPS drops, or your ping starts to rise, you know, it's never good to have that in the back of your mind during the start of this race. Most of these drivers have tested hours and hours in order to get this pace. And well, let's just hope for no technical difficulties for any of these guys.
And talking about difficulties, let's also pray that there will be no crashing. I mean, we have seen some crashing, in particular in the A series in the first lap. So, well, it's such a it's not really a tight track, but there are just barriers all over the place, really, alongside the track. So if someone spins, and it's exactly what happened in Ace, if someone spins off and then rejoins the track, it's just a massive chain reaction, really.
Yeah, it's domino day all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not what you want to have. As I just said, that David Greco rejoins the track, and it seems he sorted out his computer problems, which is nice because I can already see the Twister Racing team just nail biting on their seats. You know, Greco, you know, get your computer working. We'll already pay you so much, but no. No, truly, I mean, David Greco isn't coming for free. You either pay the man or you don't. And that is based on absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but let's see here. Both Morant and Bono Huis not really showing their lap times at this moment. Morant choosing to stay in the pit. Oh, he's just going out now. And Bono just completing a lap. Not that it matters now. They can't change their setups anymore. But by the way, Patrick de Wit here is up in the charts. He's actually on the third place right now in the warm-up. I mean, it's not any reason to expect he would challenge for a win, but he's definitely up there.
Yeah, yes, but also you should see that he is right now in third position and he is 6 tenths down on Holzman, and we have seen in qualifying the gaps being close. So within 6 tenths there can be a gap of 10 cars filled with 6 tenths, I believe. So it's really that close.
It's really close indeed. And coming off back to Patrick, by the way, Patrick de Wit, that is not Holzman. Patrick de Wit, 7 years ago, in 2007, I believe, he made his debut for Faster Than Speed as well, I believe, in the in Australia, and it was his first race in FSR World Championship, and he managed to get a podium. So that was 2007, and at the end of the season, he actually got an offer from Precision Motorsport to drive for them, and kindly refused then. But yeah, that's all 2007, 2008 we're talking about, and look at this, we're 2014, and we still got him here. So really a fossil that's still driving on the track.
Oh yeah, and it's good to see that, of course. I mean, these iconic drivers in the championship. I mean, that is what you want to see. Same for Bono.
I mean, Patrick is a personality, just like any other guy. But we just have to happen to know the guy over the years, and yeah. Unfortunately, this season didn't went well for Patrick, and Marcel van der Linden from FDS is struggling a little bit as well. But they're giving it their best shot, and of course it's another completely different engine, completely different simulator than R-Vector 1, and yeah, so many drivers just having massive adjustments made to their driving styles that yeah, you can get caught out easier.
Yeah, that's true. It's quite a big difference actually from R-Vector 1 to R-Vector 2, isn't it? I mean, especially, I think the tire model is just so different as well. I think it's great though. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely amazing with the flat spots as well. So yeah, I really do love it, but it's a different world, really.
Well, there we have it, guys. Jeroen Kweekel actually saying he loves flat spots.
Well, there we go. It's just true. I mean, you want to see that in the game, don't you?
I don't want to see any flat spots on my tire, but if you love them,
no.
Then no. But that the physics allow them into the game, it's really amazing. Yeah, looking at the sheet right now, Martin Gosby actually with a 29.377. Mind you, that's with around 200 liters.
Yeah. And look who just got in second by 7 thousandths of a second.
Patrick Holzman as well, 29.383. Patrick is one of those guys that's really scratching his head right now, at the back of his head, like, why did I make that mistake? I was so quick during Q2, and he was, but that's it, one mistake and it's gone. And unfortunately that's a rule that also counted for Patrick Holzman, but well, if he has a decent race pace, he might be able to well, wake some sleeping dogs, so to speak, and challenge for a podium spot.
Oh, yeah,
I certainly hope
you're
so.
Correct. Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, starting from 10th position, he doesn't seem too shabby in terms of pace. So, I'm looking forward to what he can do. Definitely. I mean, it's a long race, so keep your head cool and just go.
And who do you think is going to challenge for the win today, Jeroen? I mean, you can't say Ghostbeat because they're not even up to the pack at the moment, so that's going to be an easy call for you, right?
Well, if I have to be fair, I think it's Morant who was always, you know, that's someone you always have got to count on. Same for Bono, I think. Yeah. But the pace that Gosby is currently showing isn't that bad either. I mean, 29.3 with 200 liters on board, as you have mentioned. That is quite quick as well. We don't really get to see a great benchmark, I think, from Morant or Huis, although Huis has done a 29.7. So I don't know. I think they are not, of course, showing their best at the moment. I presume so. I think Morant will be quick, Crosby as well, and we will see. I think. Well, how about you?
Yeah. not because I'm a Netflix guy or anything, but I clearly think that either Morant or Bono will take this victory. The qualify and specifically the Q2 session definitely it definitely came to light that these guys are in a different league once again. And I can still remember the first race of the 2012 season when these guys had a massive battle as well, and I believe Morgan claimed his first victory there, or 2011 it was, or at least it was Australia. I just hope for a repeat on that, you know. I honestly want to see Morgan fight for the win, and with Bono just behind him, but I am a little bit worried that the dirty air will just cause so many troubles for Bono. Not that he can't handle it, but the dirty air is just a little bit... well, in my opinion, and I'm not a world champion or anything, but in my opinion, the dirty air is a little bit broken this weekend in Australia.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
and I just don't want Bono to be so much so much, you know, compromised with that fact, and Morgan can just drive away, you know. I mean, I want to see a clean fight with no punches under the belt, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all want to see the massive battle would be, of course, good.
Could we please go on board with Patrick DeWitt? Because he is doing some Patrick DeWitt driving.
Wow, yeah.
Sorry to say, if we could go on board with Patrick DeWitt, this is already popcorn worthy. He's just, yeah, cutting all across the lines. He's doing a Kanemasis style of lap here. Just, you know, amazing. maybe practicing his escape routes, because he's going back to the pit. But he clearly, you know, went full throttle through corner one onto the grass, and maybe times it better. But yeah, really weird there. Let's hope he won't do any of those things during the race, because you know, I can defend the guy just so long. But no, as we are making our way up to the start of this race, because the clock of the warm-up has shown 0. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for a second, but we should get on with the race soonish, I presume. There's some chatting going on in the chat that Gosby is still having some stuttering or something like that, so I don't know if it's on this particular track. I would say so.
Well, let's see. Edward Malorki, the Charlie Whiting here, is gonna press the start lights pretty soon, and we just hear the message that personnel has to leave the grid right now, so it's 25 seconds to go. This is getting tense. I can already feel my heart pumping up over 100 beats a minute.
Yeah, it's a 58 lap long race. I mean, a long race, and very. I would say this track is quite demanding for the drivers. You need to concentrate every single time. So we are making ourselves up for the formation lap right now. So we see the Chrono 7 Networks car of Morant up in pole there. He was quickest, I think, as well in the warm up. I think he did a 28.7 or something like that. Ridiculous. So
yeah, and
he's looking strong.
Look at that Twister team, by the way. I mean, it's Peter Briljak on 3rd, Jim Paresis 4th, Martin Gosby 5th, and David Greco 6th. I mean, that's just a 2 grid slot Twister racing barricade there that all the drivers have to cross. And I mean, if they work together, they can get a brilliant scoring position and some good old points back into the Constructors' Championship. However, we are going to round out the top 22, which is all the drivers, or top 23 even, for you here. It's obviously Morgan Morant on pole position after that great stunning lap. It's 4 times world champion Bono Huis following closely. Peter Briljak starting from 3rd place. Jim Paresis, like I said, on 4th place. Martin Gosby on 5th. David Greco 6th. Dion Kostadinov on 7th. Carlos Martin on 8th. Peter Lepala on 9th. And unfortunate Patrick Holtzman on 10th. Ivar Kellermees didn't make it into Q2 once again, really unfortunate for him. He starts the race in 11th spot and Rob van Starkenburg follows him in 12th. John Eric Saxon, our FSR president, in lucky number 13. Jack Keithley starting in 14th spot. Patrick Witt in 15th. Journey Simonsic in 16th. Eros Musculi 17th and Antonio Kolarec in 18th. Marcel van den Linden in rather disappointing 19th place. Robert Roetholm in 20th. Blair Disley, all-time veteran as well, starts from 21st. Dino Paolini in 22nd, and Matt Santel starts from, well, last place, 23rd.
Yeah, so we see Morad now coming through corner 14. Hopefully he has his tires warmed up, his brakes warmed up, and he's good to go. Yeah, as you've mentioned, 23 car grid, so it could be worse, it could be more. It's shaping up for a nice race here, that's for sure.
It's fair. At least we don't have Caterhams on the back of the grid each race. So
no, it's HRT.
HRT, well, those are long gone. But yeah. Morgan Morant here, sliding up to his grid slot position. And he surely wants to win. He does have the racing line in order to go into turn 1. The cleanest. I mean, pole position is definitely on the right side here. And Matt Santel just entering the start and finish straight. So it's a wait once more.
Yeah, here we go. So take us through the starting procedure here.
Oh, I would love... Well, basically you press the clutch and you take it into first gear. No, joking. Here we go. We have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights and 5 lights. And we are racing! Morgan Morant leaves his slot and Bono Huis cannot jump him quite yet. And it's a clean start for now. Morgan Morant into the first bend of this. And everyone is safely through for this moment. This is really perfect. This is what we wanted to see earlier on. Bono Huis getting threatened by Peter Briljak earlier on, but a relatively easy defensive line will keep Peter Briljak behind. And behind that, it's a lot of shifting in terms of position. Ivar Kalame is making up a few spots. He's actually in 10th position now. Carlos Martin in 9th. Lost out a lot in space, so he lost already 3 spots. But nobody is off the track. Everyone came through, and this is really nice to say.
Well, props to all the drivers. Everything was clean. I had to look at the back, and even there, everything was clean. Great stuff from the drivers. So that is very impressive indeed.
Yeah, and David Greco now lost one spot to Dion Kostadinov here. He drives around in 7th place, Dion Kostadinov in 6th. Martin Gosby 5th, Jim Paris is 4th, Peter Briljak 3rd, Bono and Morgan still 2nd and 1st in that order.
Lapala on Gosby, trying to go around the outside. No, that's not gonna happen. Gosby still keeps that place now. Villa gets on the threat from Carlos Martin behind him as well, so he needs to look in his mirrors as well.
Yeah, cheeky move from Phil de Pala to move over off the track, almost caught Carlos Martin out if he didn't have a quicker reaction than that. But see if Carlos can take him here. Phil de Pala not having best exits whatsoever. He's forced to go defensive already, but he's going normally again. Carlos Martin diving into the gap, but the gap is just not quite there. Phil de Pala closing the door, and it was his right to do so.
Yeah, quite optimistic from Carlos Martin. Tried to go on the inside there. Maybe tried to scare him a little bit as well, if more than anything. But in fact, he lost out on that more than he would have liked, I think.
And did we lose someone? Since I see Patrick Holzman on the 12th spot now. We did not, fortunately.
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so...
Oh, Van Starkenburg is now on Calame's. Calame's had a pretty good start, up in 10th position. Calame's or Van Starkenburg having a little look. But, things better off it.
But already thumbs up for Rob Van Starkenburg here. It's nicer to see him pass their sort of sister team, Precision Motorsports, than receiving a team order that he has to let someone buy from his sort of sister team. And Van Starkenburg runs wide. Can Patrick Holzman capitalize on that? He cannot.
He's too far back. The others will be enabled soon, but we can already see the effect of the dirty air. I mean, you can see the gaps forming between the drivers.
Indeed, and Carlos Martin is also falling a little bit back from Phil de Pala. And Morgan just leading, but Bono not letting him get away. And Peter Briljak has no other choice than to see Bono slightly but certainly move out of his sight already. Because they're just so quick.
Yeah, the gap is half a second. I mean, Bono is doing a pretty good job at the moment in that dirty air. So, don't know if he has just more downforce. I wouldn't really say so, but yeah, it's looking really good actually, even in the dirty air.
Yeah, well, throughout the season, I must say that Bono isn't really up with top speeds. No, in Monza it was the opposite. It was Netflix with a lower top speed. But Bono is one of those guys that really likes to have grip in his car and a little bit of oversteering into the corner, and he likes to play with that. But yeah, he's onto the back of Morgan still, and maybe it's just a half a second gap that he leaves besides Morgan and himself, just because he doesn't want to be affected by the dirty air as much, which would be logical.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, the dirty air, you get understeer, you get more temperature into the tires, so
yeah,
it's not good for tire wear either.
Definitely not. And Morgan just exploiting the limits of the track here, and not that he cut it or anything, but he does kick up some dust. And Morgan and Bono really wide on that exit. So 29.8 and the 29.9 for Morgan and Bono.
Yeah, DRS just got enabled, so that's going to be a help for Bono to close Moran down. But as you have mentioned, will we really stay close behind him, or will we leave about a 1 second gap the whole time to well, probably save some tires and maybe even something else?
Yeah, let's see so. It's Morgan though, who is really pushing this early game, and he has a moment of a twitchy oversteering. Wow. Oh, and by the way, the driver that we lost, Jeremy Simosic, is already driving 23rd spot at this moment. Unfortunate for him. However, back to the leaders of this race. This is getting tense. And Bono with just releasing his throttle pedal and just shifting calmly. I don't see Bono pushing all the way at this moment, so that's good for his pace.
That's a very good point actually. Yeah, he's looking very stable and very solid. So we see Moran pushing quite hard. At least that's what we can judge from visually.
Yeah, and it seems that either Bono drives supremely well, or he's just not pushing so hard as Moran did.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's well within the DRS zone right now as well.
Yeah. I don't think he will be close enough. It's really capitalizing on a mistake that the driver in front of you makes on this circuit. And although we have seen that during the weekend in the other classes, this is of course a World Championship class, and this is the highest class that you can be in. So yeah, I find it amazing how controlled Bono is.
Yeah, same here. I mean, if you watch him on board, he's very smooth, very good throttle inputs, not getting that much oversteer. Looks very solid and very controlled.
Yeah, and of course that's what it needs to be for to be world champion for 4 consecutive times. And in front of him is the driver that doesn't want to make it 5 for him. Yeah, really a straight up battle at this moment. However, Peter Brilliard is following closely still. He found some extra pace, it seems.
Yeah, he's quite close to Bono, about 6'10", so yeah, he's looking in there as well. He actually had a good first sector so far, I think, during this lap, because he looks visually a little bit more closer as well, so he's holding on.
Yeah, definitely. So, in the clean air, Morgan Moran goes. So Martin Gosby following his teammate Jim Parise.
I don't really see any battling out on track at the moment further down the field, so I think it would be best to still stay with the leaders, of course, although Van Starkenburg is right now quite close behind Calames again. But,
and indeed, Jeroen, everyone, you know, sorted out their slot a little bit already after 4 laps. Rather disappointment, to be honest, disappointing, because we want to see fights all over again, but yeah, it's okay for now. This race will certainly have the tactical advantage that a driver can get, or the tactical disadvantage. It's all a matter of pit stops if nobody's gonna make mistakes. Martin, what?
Martin DC.
No! Carlos Martin disconnects once again. Oh my god,
wow.
The talented young Spaniard driver, actually having a top 10 start here, has to leave and forfeit the race because of his internet. And I'm sure he will be cursing behind his computer in all types of languages. But
yeah,
this is really something. Yeah, of course. But this is something you wouldn't give to anyone. I mean, disconnections are really a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's not within your hands. You can't do anything about it. And he must be furious for sure. And we can all understand that, I think.
Yeah. So Carlos Martin being the first hopefully only retirement in this race.
Well, having said that, Marcel van der Linden is out with suspension damage.
Oh no. Marcel, what did you do? Hopefully he didn't ram that car on towards any barriers or whatever.
I'll have a look at the replay. It does look like it though.
Oh yeah, he crashed.
Just spun. Yeah, exit of turn 2.
Yeah, so he actually lost the car and slammed the wall quite severely, and that's the end of his race. So that's already the second retirement of this race. And nevertheless, the circuit is continuing. We are on 10% distance right now, and the first 3 spots have not changed in the order whatsoever. It's still Morgan Morand leading with Bonnehuis second, and Peter Brilliard driving in third. And following behind that, it's Jim Parisas and Martin Gosby, who, if they are smart, which they are, we have seen that in Imola, they can do tremendous things. They can work together, and they might even get a win. Although that was with I believe, never mind what I just said. But if they are dumb, I mean, we have seen in Canada as well the Go Speeds crashing each other out. And it was not something that has to happen again. Certainly not for these 2 guys on 4th and 5th position at the moment. But I hope they will use their heads, and I also hope that David Greco finds himself some extra pace, but because he's rather stuck at this moment behind Dion Kostadinov. Not giving discredit to Dion, but David Greco, well, having seen him during the qualify sessions, he was just amazing, and he would be a podium spot contender. But yeah, because of that bad Q2 lap and because of a relatively bad start, he does find himself now in 7th place. He actually dropped 1 spot during the start.
Yeah, he's losing 7/10 a lap to the leader, so he's definitely not looking really that strong at the moment. Maybe it will change for him, I definitely hope so. Anyway, entering lap 7 right now, we're on still lead from Bono. Bono keeping up nicely the whole time with the DRS and with the dirty air as well. I'm surprised that he is able to stay within half a second, something around there.
Yeah, so Morgan Morand's top speed inside of the DRS zone, the second DRS zone, is about 286.88. And Bono with his DRS open is about 295, 296. So it does mean that he has a little bit of compensation for having the dirty air all in his helmet all day. And well, all these little bits count, of course. And he's having a controlled gap to Morgan right now. And I really think that Bono is already with his head into the pit stops. And he might be like, okay, I think Morgan will stop at lap 12 first or lap 11. I'm gonna stop at lap 12 or 13, or trying to undercut him by stopping 1 lap earlier. Of course, there's always a high risk that you would come back into traffic. If he doesn't come back into traffic, if he stops a lap earlier, it would be a high risk with a high reward. And I'm certainly curious about the choice that Bono makes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. I have to agree completely with you. I'm curious to see what he is going to do. I'm sure he's, as you have mentioned already, with his head into the pit stops. I mean, a very intelligent driver, of course. So we'll see what he is going to do and what decision he's going to make. I would be surprised if he is really going for an undercut right now that early. But you never know. We'll see.
Yeah, not in lap 8, but I think starting from lap 10, he might think about it. I don't know, but
I mean, will he do it already in the first pit stop phase? Why don't wait a little bit longer, maybe till the end of the race? I am not sure.
I guess
we'll see. We'll see what he is going to do.
I guess you're right. However, Peter Brilliard has to, well, let Bono and Morgan go a little bit, and Morgan makes a mistake. Can Bono capitalize on this? Morgan losing momentum here, but defending the lines that he chooses. More of Bono is diving for it. He has the outside and he pushes Morgan off, but he uses the track. That was not illegal of Bono. That was pure racing right there. Nevertheless, he compromises his own exit and he has to let Morgan Morand go again. But what an offensive move from Bono, and what a great move as well. And of course, this allowed Peter Brilliard to come closer once more. And Morgan Morand actually has his pit in light on. That might mean that he's going to the pit instantaneously, or he leaves it for another lap. But I do think that mistake Morgan just made was made out of tire wear, and he's instantly thinking, okay, I gotta take action on this. You know, he is going for another lap this time around, but yeah, He's looking for a pit stop within 2 laps, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess Bono's move was right on the limit there, but he saw the opportunity, and once you get an opportunity around this track, you need to take it with both hands. I mean, you're not gonna get a lot of opportunities here.
Indeed, and he dived in front of Morgan, and he left barely enough space on the outside, but it was all within the lines in my point of view, at least. I know Jack Keatley isn't a fan of my views, but I don't care. Yeah, this is what we want to see. It's racing, and you can't be during a race. You can't be faint-hearted and say, okay, you have this position and you have that. No, it's not working out like that. It's interesting to see, however, that Bono and Morant both have their pit lights on. However, Morgan did have it on last time around, so I don't know if he's going to pit right now. Same story for Bono. Not the same story for the people behind him, because they are the only one with the pit confirm button on. Also is Ivar Kalamees, by the way. So, judging on that, I think Bono is going to pit this lap. The question is, however, is Morgan Morant following him? Morgan actually going off track.
Yeah, Morant is lagging a lot. I mean,
Morgan is out! Morgan has left the race because of a disconnect. It's unbelievable. It's
wow,
unbelievable what's happening.
Bono dives into the pit straight away. Wow, I'm speechless.
Well, both Networks cars getting out of the race by a DNF. I would certainly want to see the logs for this race, because to make sure it's not a DDoS somewhere from Czechia or something. No, but it does leave Peter Briljak in the lead of this race, and Bono just exits the pit.
Yeah, there's actually chaos in the pit lane. Keithley and Kalamees share the same pit box, same for Lapala.
Oh no.
A lot of guys having the same pit box here. Oh, this is going to compromise their race badly, but what bad luck for Morant. Oh, I cannot believe that, honestly.
Indeed, and I see indeed Jim Paris is sharing the pit box with Ville Lapala, and Ville Lapala basically have to make 2 pit stops with that, and Jack Keatley, yeah, this is unfortunate. Get more pit boxes, guys, get more pit boxes. But yeah, this is really something that both Carlos Martin and Morgan Morant don't deserve. I can promise you with my hand on my heart, as a Netrexer, that these guys are testing so much and that are showing so much effort to improve their skills, and because of a technical difficulty, their opportunity is getting thrown out of the window. It's just not fair, and yeah, sometimes life isn't fair, and this is certainly one of those moments. And on one of these moments, actually, Peter Briljak or Martin Gosby might be able to capitalize. Certainly Bono Huis is doing a good thing in the championship if he manages to bring the car home, and Peter Briljak now is leading the race.
Yeah, Gosby went into the pits, but as you said, this might open up the championship opportunities for Huizing. I mean, Morant is leading the championship by 180 points, and Bono is in second with 145, so he might be able to close up, and as you have mentioned, I'm sure Morant has put in a lot of hours of practice and whatnot and testing into this race, and then to
every
see
race, by the way. Every race.
Yeah, of course, yeah, don't get me wrong, yeah, every race. But to see that just disappear, basically, is you've got to feel for him, of course.
Indeed, and well, the rumors are that Bono is not practicing as much because his talent is just so big, he doesn't need the practice, it seems. But as we've seen from the interview with, I believe, Johannes Kunkel some time earlier on this season, which was an absolutely nice interview, to be honest. But yeah, he can do some great point of. Nevertheless, scrap that. He can have a great scoring point position here and do some nice business in order to retrieve, well, maybe even his 5th consecutive championship. But I'm sure Bono is such a racer that he won't be extremely happy with it if it comes to him in an easy manner. Not saying that apart from Morgan Morant, every driver is easy to pass for Bono, but I mean, after winning 4 championships, I'm sure he would love to have a challenge.
Yeah, of course.
And now that challenge is gone, Briljak is inside, by the way. Briljak is inside of the pit.
Verstappen is as well, but yeah, I mean, from a spectator point of view, so Peter rejoins the track just in front of Kostadinov, I presume.
Yeah.
Yes, from a spectator point of view, you also get robbed from what could have been a great battle. I mean,
Of course.
House looked really good. So yeah, maybe he got robbed from a potential battle as well,
Yeah.
which is very sad.
Very sad indeed, and Morgan Morant, one of those drivers that's certainly in my top 5 of best online racers ever, together with House and Kweekel, who are the other two, I'm not gonna tell you. But yeah, it's really amazing. However though, it does mean that Bono House has some clean air right now with Martin Gosby following him, but I believe Martin still has to, no, he doesn't have to pit, right? So he made a nice jump into second place. But Peter Briljak actually delaying his pit stop. Well, delaying a little bit. I mean, you could as well say that Bono just pitted 2 laps earlier than Peter. But yeah, Peter now, because he drove on a little bit longer, he is now in 3rd place. Nevertheless, he will get those 2 laps back during this stop, during this stint. So let's see where it will get him. Or take him even.
Yeah, Gosby is doing an awesome job as well, having 2 purple times on this lap alone. So he might be trying to catch Bono a little bit, demand a little bit more from his tires. We'll see. Gap was 3.4 before, it's now 3.3. So great lap from Gosby there, trying to hunt down Bono.
Yeah, and hopefully he can do so, because we want to see a fight on our hands, and there is a fight on our hands now with Eros Masculi and Jack Keithley. Jack Keithley just diving into the gap of Masculi. Masculi showing no defensive lines whatsoever. However, Jack Keithley lets him live a little bit too much in my opinion. He almost got it across him, but he manages to retain the position from Holtzman. Holtzman just letting Phil Lepala pass on by easily. Sorry, not Holtzman, Eros Masculi. Yeah, sorry. But they didn't seem to work for it. Patrick DeWitt now off the track. Patrick DeWitt retires here. Patrick DeWitt is retiring from the race. At least he's stationary right now. Will there be a problem with his transmission? He's shifting his wheel to left and right. And he's continuing again. So let's see. He just literally parked his car. And the data is showing that he steers left and right once. And then he continues on. After being stationary for 5 seconds. So basically might have a wheel problem or something.
Yeah, this looks like a hardware problem. I mean, I saw in the replay him weaving all over the place too, so there must be something wrong. Oh, it's the barrier. There's something wrong with his force feedback or something, I presume.
Might be a problem, but this is definitely not how he is driving normally. Well, certainly a lot of chaos during the first 15 laps of this race.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ivar Kalamees reclaims his top 10 position. He's driving in 8th spot right now.
Sorry to interrupt you, but here comes Ville Lepala on the back of Jack Keithley with DRS. Will he take him already? Heading down into turn 3. I think Ville is a little bit too far back. Tries to go around the outside. Whoa! Oh, too late. Too late on the brakes.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit too late on the brake. I'm gonna just quickly see that in the replay.
Keithley keeps on going. No damage for him, I presume. Well,
no, Keithley went on going. He went sideways as well. Keithley. That was a really nice drift from Jack. But yeah, Lepala might be caught out by that. But I do think you're right in stating that he just braked a little bit too late.
Yeah, maybe he didn't expect the extra speed. Maybe he got from DRS. I mean, that might be a bit of a factor as well.
Well, nevertheless, he's driving onto 13th spot right now. Lepala already a veteran as well, with 3 or 4 years under his belt. And the 13th spot is not his aiming point for sure, but it's reality.
I would just put in the purple lap. It's Rob van Starkenberg. A great lap, 28.6 actually. That is half a second faster than the leader, so he's doing a good job as well at the moment.
If you are leading this race, Rob, don't let the precisions pass you for once. Go for that victory. Go for that victory, dude. No, but it's going to be extensively hard because Bono is not slowing down whatsoever. He's just out there. He's into the zone that he is familiar with. And Martin Gosby, Peter Briljak just following however they can follow. But it seems, however, that Dion Kostadinov is closing in on Briljak at the moment.
a look at that. I lost 2 tenths last time round, so the pace is so similar once again.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bono is doing 29.3 and Gosby is doing 29.2, so Broyak as well 29.2. So it's really close in the top 4 at least. And then comes Sudo, who did, I think, made a mistake last time round as he did a 130.0.
Yeah, still
and the
you
width left.
reclaim. Yeah, indeed. That's really unfortunate. Jim Paris is just weaving here. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he tries to make a message clear onto Greco or whatever. It's not applying pressure on the braking or something. It's just going from left to right like Fernando Alonso did with that ridiculous move in Indy 2007. But let's see if Jim does it again. I don't know. Maybe he tries to cool the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, good point. That might be the case. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I do know for a fact, you know, Jim is a streamer as well, and he is always on TeamSpeak with his virtual engineer. And wow, he's really closing up to David now. So the engineer might have told Jim like stay out of the dirty air in terms of cooling temperatures. And nobody wants to, you know, feel that in the last 2 laps of the race, your brakes are starting to fail, you know, and. That's something nobody wants to see. We have seen that in Canada this year. That was really amazing. But well, Australia is not a heavy braking circuit like Canada is.
No, and last time Monza as well. Of course, Monza very tough on the brakes.
Yeah, it's tough on the brakes, but not as tough as Canada. But because in Monza you have those extremely big straights that allow your brakes to, you know, regain a little bit of cool temperature and get around that optimum 200 or 300 degrees. But yeah, in Montreal it's just corner after corner and then a straight and then a big corner again. However, I do like Melbourne a lot. I mean, ever since this generation of Formula One viewers that we are obviously in, are familiar with the season starting in Melbourne. Patrick Holtzman now into the pits out from 7th position, and he instantly loses 2 positions, and he's gonna lose a 3rd, 4th and 5th position. Nevertheless, where is he coming out on track? Hopefully for him. Oh no, on the 10th spot, so that 5th position won't matter. Patrick Holtzman rejoins the track into 10th place.
Yeah, presuming he will put in some good laps right now.
I just want to take a quick replay onto Patrick Holtzman's pit entry of exit. Did he cut the line?
Yeah, it looked close, to be honest.
Well, anyway. That's gonna be an admin call, but Patrick Holtzman clearly making it millimeters of touching the exit line of the pits. So let's see if the admins would take any action onto that. However, now it's still Bonnehuis in the lead, obviously, with a 3.2 second advantage to Martin Gosby. Remember, Martin Gosby last year in Silverstone, he had to forfeit from his race win. He had to race in his hands, but because he was also racing in Ace, what was then called World Series, and this obviously being the World Championship, because he was in the contention for the World Series or the Ace Championship, he couldn't win that race in World Championship, because if he did, he was not allowed to race the next race into Ace. So he basically gave up the win, and then he had the unfortunate part of, you know, drivers being disqualified, and he still couldn't race in Ace. After having clinched finally his first victory in WC earlier this year, it's definitely a driver that can do it again. He, in the first part of this track into lap 18, he already took 2 tenths out of Bono. Let's see here.
Yeah, he's looking very strong actually. He's once again very quick in the first sector, so.
And Jim Paris is just lifting and lifting. He really has to let David Greco go. David Greco onto the softer compound. And it's now 2.9 seconds for Martin Gosby. So Bono needs to be kept up to date through the radio, although he can see it himself by switching through his menus, obviously.
Yeah, but I think it's just a controlled drive for him right now at the moment, of course.
Yeah, I think so too. He knows that it's not easy to overtake at this track, and he's going for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I see, is there some battling? We see Rob van Starkenburg putting a little bit of pressure onto Ivar Kellermees, but it's not enough. And that brings us on to the point. I think the dirty air is as you have mentioned, is quite severe around this track. And
yeah. Well, I have to say though, coming on to that Ivar Kellermees and Rob van Starkenburg story, I do think that Detective Rob did a great job this season on showing his face. He was really promising, and I do believe that he made well a bigger impression on most of the people in this season than Ivar did for now. Although Ivar did win Monza, yeah, basically also because David Greco had that unfortunate retirement. Nevertheless, he deserves it. If I were Ivar, I would test a little bit extra these last few races. Not saying here that he has to be replaced or anything. He's a really great driver, but he's certainly in a big shadow this season of Bono.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
He didn't make it into Q2 again this season, and it has been 50-50 with him. Nevertheless, he won last race and he did a tremendous job. He should get a confidence boost in there and show Sebastian Kweekel like I'm your guy,
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Yeah. Oh, David Greco running a little bit wide, and this allows Paresis to close down actually quite nicely. But no, he's too far back, having a little look down the inside, but that's not gonna work. And update on the leaders. Greco is not doing bad at all. Gosby is not doing bad at all. Once again took 3/10 out of the gap in the last lap. And
Kostadinov is in the pit.
Yep.
But I have to say, Martin Gosby is on the super soft tire and Huis is obviously on the soft tire. Briljak is also on the super soft. David Greco and Jim Paresis are both on soft again. So yeah, it's gonna be a strategy battle here. And that Bono is just losing about 1/10 each lap to Martin Gosby, who is on the faster compound than Bono is pretty amazing. To be honest, because like we said earlier, Bono is not pushing in any way. I can see Martin pushing though. He's seeing that the gap being decreased. It's now 2.6 seconds, so he took 2/10 out of this first sector alone, and this might give Martin the boost. Like, okay, I might can win. I might beat my old team member Bono Huis, but yeah, he obviously doesn't know that Huis is for Huis is doing. He's cruising a little bit on this soft tire.
Yeah, he's just controlling. That's really it, and he's doing an awesome job at the moment. We're getting a report from Sam, our cameraman, that Holzman has undercut Kostadinov by pitting early. So yeah, we saw Holzman doing quite an early pit stop, and so the reason for that is that he could undercut Kostadinov, and that's exactly what happened then.
Yeah, and Jack Keithley now getting under pressure by Patrick Holzman, and the amount of speed difference that Patrick Holzman and Jack Keithley carry in the same corner is just tremendous. Patrick is really much more determined, and Jack Keithley instantly goes into the pits because he's so intimidated by Patrick. Joking, Keithley, joking. But no, his tires are obviously burned out, and he wants to have a new fresh set of those. And let's see which set it will be. It's a super soft set for Jack. Let's see if he can turn some heads.
Yeah, he's gonna have to push now, of course. In the meantime, Kellermees went into the pits as well, I believe. So, well, the gap to the leaders once again. Gosby and Bono is 2.3 seconds. So,
yeah,
once again taking the gap. But as you have mentioned, Bono is just controlling right now. He's cruising, I would say.
Yeah, for his doing, he's cruising.
Yeah.
For mine doing, it would be like, oh my god, I'm so fast now. But yeah, that's not the case. Nevertheless, oh, I feel so sorry. I have to say this about myself. Nevertheless, Martin Gosby is continuing onwards to decrease the gap that he and Bono Huis are apart. But yeah, it's starting to fade off in a few laps, I would presume. Or nevertheless, it's going to increase immensely because Martin Gosby is inside of the pit. So is Bono Huis.
Yeah.
But what are the tire compounds that both drivers are heading onwards to? Bono Huis is going for the super soft. Martin Gosby is almost overshooting his pit box, but he's going to the soft
as well. Yeah.
So it's now Bono on the super softs and Gosby on the soft tire. And Rob van Starkenburg just passes Bonnehuis here. And I do believe Rob will get a message in his earphones soon that a certain driver is faster than him. And he has to make way. I mean, that's just the way it goes in that camp. Team orders, sister teams or not. I mean, sorry to say, guys, but that's just reality. Nevertheless, Rob is an honorable guy, and but I would love to see him battle these great names, you know.
Of course, I think everybody wants to see that, but yeah, as you mentioned, I mean, you get his message, and it's clear.
Indeed, there are sometimes team orders there, but on the other hand, at this moment, it might be a wise fact to let Bono through, because nevertheless, mind what I just said. Robert Roetholm and Patrick Holzman have left the race as well. What happened there? Patrick Holzman having a DNF.
Roetholm having suspension damage. I don't yet know what happened to Holzman though. Disqualified. Whoa.
Whoa! He got disqualified? Patrick Holzman, I want to check the replay there. You just continuing on and follow Bono or whatever.
We have a little bit of a battle with David Greco, Jim Paresis, and there's just a big train. Rob van Starkenburg pits though, so that releases Bono. You have a look at that replay for sure. I mean, it says DQ, disqualified. Wow.
Yeah, he basically, he was in 7th position. He crosses the start-finishing line, and he's suddenly 23rd, which means a DQ, and he has to stop the race. But maybe he had a drive-through, and he failed to serve it.
Well, I'm unlucky that I'm a member of Go Speed, and I just hear Patrick saying I got disqualified, but I have no idea why.
He's driving for SimRacing, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's part of Go Speed.
Ah, the more you know.
It's like a sister team.
So he doesn't really know why he's disqualified.
No, he said black screen after crossing the start-finish line. Very weird. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. He might have had a penalty during the pit stops. I mean, I do believe his German honesty in his words, but yeah, R Factor says different. Random disqualify.
Look at House.
Look at House. I'm going to look at House. What are we seeing? He is looking forward to take this Tsatsiki guy hostage.
He's waiting so far. I think he's just gonna line himself up for the arrest pause if Paresis doesn't pit, which I presume he won't actually. But
yeah, and this is what I wanted to say before Patrick Holzman got DQ'd. It might be a good thing for Rob van Starkenburg to let Huis pass, just because he's so much quicker than him. You know, it's not logical to hold yourself up as well while battling, whilst you know that you have to pit in 2 or 3 laps and you're gonna lose that position anyway.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Nevertheless, it's some pit stops and
Kweekel coming up behind van Starkenburg.
Yeah, I wanted to say that indeed, and Jim Paresis is coming out of track in front of Jack Kweekel.
Paresis long stop.
So did Paresis have a long pit stop indeed? Wow, yeah, Paresis is in 8th place right now. So that's...
Yeah, I think he lost a little time there, not too much though, but
so 7 seconds.
Not... Yeah,
Jim was stationary for 7 seconds. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. I mean, that's definitely not the average time. I mean, the average time is like 3.54 seconds. So
yeah,
but probably the damage.
Slight damage.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that moment when you realized that you didn't undo the repair button.
Yeah.
And the mechanics are working on it, and you're like, no.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Peter Verjak pits now from the lead. So, how much of a help really is it for Twisted to have so many cars in the top there?
Well, they have a certain advantage on data collection. No, but I don't know. I think these drivers are working together. You know, Martin Gosby might think, okay, I'm not in a position to challenge my teammates now at this moment or whatsoever, or the other way around, as Peter just pitted. But in the end of the day, they're all racers, and we have seen this with Twister in the past, as I pointed out earlier in Canada, when Gosby and his teammate crashed each other because obviously they were fighting for one bone. But yeah, in the end of the day, I think they're all racers, and very few drivers can keep their emotions under control. If you have a possibility to win the race or even get a podium, I mean, you know, all rules basically fly out window. And,
Yeah.
You know, and that's the same thing. Why I don't disrespect Jim Paris's choice to fool the admins in thinking his pit stop was or his penalty in Indy was caused by a server malfunction and it had to be removed. That's just a complete sign of determination to win the race, even out of the rules. Well, he shouldn't have edited his audio in order to, you know, delete the proof, but nevertheless, that sign shows me that he desperately wants to win.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you're
you can't
right.
you can't be a good loser as a great Formula One driver.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, once you're driving, you forget everything. You just want to
Yeah.
race, want to have the maximum result. That's it, nothing else.
And 9 out of 10 would have done the same thing as Paris, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it's a remarkably almost unchanged top 20 from the 10th place to the 20th place, but yeah, just a lot of people just having such an unfortunate race. Both Netrix guys out with DNFs with lag issues, and Patrick Holzman even getting disqualified. It's only Marcel van der Linden and Robert Roodholm who and Patrick de Wit, by the way, who didn't manage to keep their car on the road and then, you know, tasted the bitterness of concrete. But yeah.
Yeah, that's been a remarkable race so far, and especially I'm still coming back onto it. I mean, I think it's just such a shame that Morand has been disconnected. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine him still in the race. Maybe we would see a great battle between him and Bono, and I'm sure that Bono is right now. If Morand was still in here, I think he would be playing more towards Morand rather than right now being more controlled and stuff like that.
Yeah, it would have been a tremendous race. However, it's still a tremendous race, only not with your favorite French guy in it. Yeah, nevertheless, 25 points to give away, and Bono is clearly saying non-verbally to everyone, okay, I'm gonna get those 25 points, I'm gonna close the gap, and it would certainly give his World Championship hopes another chance, because, mind you, even if Morgan would have been second here and Bono would win, then the gap would only come down with 7 points. If we are seeing the finish flag now, it would mean that he's taking a gigantic leap towards Morgan with 25 points, and certainly worrying for Morgan. Morgan actually bought a new computer for this season earlier on, and well, it's definitely not an issue with that. It's certainly the internet in France, but yeah.
Sometimes you get it, you know, it's just sometimes unstable for you, and
Yeah.
it's a shame because it's out of your hands. You can't do anything about it. I mean, if you crash thanks to the driver error, you have yourself to blame, but you don't have anyone to blame right now, and that makes it such a big shame, I guess.
Yeah, I do think that, I do believe that Bono has had a DC this season as well, but yeah, it's just always in the back of your head. Every time I say to myself, okay, this season I might get one DC, and when it happens, you know, you gotta not tilt yourself. You gotta say, okay, keep calm, it's a DC, I can't help it, but you know, it's practically impossible for a racer's mind. Although, back to the racing track, indeed, Martin Gosby is still following, or trying to follow, his old teammate Bono Huis, and he does so with a 3.4 second gap. Behind that, it's a 7-second wait for Martin Gosby to see Peter Briljak. He's 10.5 seconds behind Bono, and Jan Kostininov and Ivar Kalamees, Rob van Starkenburg, and well, basically David Greco with 1 second to spare are the next pack, who are, well, effectively challenging for a podium, with Peter Briljak well, having the best cars at the moment.
Yeah, true. And coming to the battle of the leaders, I think Bono has this, to be honest. He's having a good stint on this super soft so far. Gosby lost another half a second in the last lap, so yeah, once again Bono just looks so controlled, and he's looking good. We're almost halfway through the race, so yeah, still a long race to go though. Everything can still happen, and you see a little bit of a train very tiny train behind Kostadinov with Calames and Verstappen. I think that's mainly the only action which is right now out on track. I mean, I don't really see any post battling or something like that, so it's a little
No,
bit of a
indeed.
shame. Well, we
I
see
do think
Lapala
we are.
quite close.
Yeah, or oh no, it's the other driver of Event SimRacing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to say I do with Jan Kostadinov being in 4th place and Ivar Calames driving in 5th. So let's see here. Are you still there, Jeroen?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's good. That's good. I'm just
having a look at the lap times. I mean, I'm trying to pick a point where there could be a battle, but I don't see any potential other than P4. But again, it seems like they just get influenced by the dirty air every time.
Yeah, indeed, and that's really a pain in the ass for those guys. Sorry for saying ass Americans. I know it's not, you know.
Lapala managed to pass John Eric Saxon on the main straight, I think. I'm gonna have to look at that in the replay. Yes, he did indeed, with DRS having a good run out of the final corner.
Passing the FSR president is always tricky, because you know if I'm gonna contact this guy, he will not be happy. And, sometimes he's doing post-race checks as well, so you know that's not coming into favor for you. That's for sure. Yeah. But oh, Lapala is actually off. And John Eric Saxon reclaims the position after the agonizing mistake Lapala made. So that's certainly not optimum concentration of Lapala. And he's going off once again. He spins as well. Halfly keeps it onto the road. What is the problem with the Finnish racing driver here? Is
he's lost his front end wing plate, but that's definitely not the cause for the spin. But wow.
Well, maybe it did leave him a little bit of yeah, it was half of a spin indeed. Yeah. But it might have left the downforce numbers a little bit lower than expected. Might have caught him out. We're already over halfway of this race. Time is flying when you're having fun. But the pack is just sorted itself out basically. Everyone's driving their own pace. And I would really like to see David Greco just climb up the ladders a little bit more. Because we all know you can do it, David. We all know. I don't know why you're hiding it from us.
Last lap, he was 4 tenths quicker than Van Starkenburg. So yeah, if he indeed can close down on that little train we have going on, he might be in the battle for 4th position here. So
yeah. Why are you fooling us, Greco? Why?
He will come for sure. He's gonna come there.
Yeah, no, he has some clean air in front of him, and he can make his way up to Rob van Starkenburg and just join that little pack. Peter Briljak is 3-4 seconds away and has a 3 or 4 second gap to 4th position Jan Kostadinov, and well, Ivar Calames is just being a little bit stuck behind Kostadinov, I'm sure. Although he doesn't seem to make the effort of trying to pass him any day soon. Might wants to do that during the pit stops. But if David Greco can continue on with this pace, I'm sure he will catch Van Starkenburg in a matter of laps. Last lap 29.224 of David Greco. Last lap of Rolf van Starkenburg was at 29.480. So let's see.
Oh, Van Starkenburg having a little bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 3. So he is pushing for sure, and you can also feel the dirty air in terms of traction, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I remember the start of the season. I remember saying to Carlos Martin, like, dude, shut up. It's not that hard as you say it is. I drove my first race in Bahrain, and I was like, what? There are invisible walls here? You know, it's like immense, and I'm so happy that Formula Sim Racing adapted to that by changing the dirty air values a little bit for us a few races ago. That was definitely the right call to make, and during races like this, I mean, imagine us having the same oh wait, sorry, doesn't matter what I say. Indeed, Lapala has a DNF. Lapala is our next victim, and I do believe he's a victim of the wall earlier on. Oh no, he actually retires after a pit stop. Yep, he actually spun at the last turn as our cameraman Phil Smite Sam Jones is telling us. He didn't hit any walls, but I do think that he's just done with it. You know, the car is just malfunctioning. He just parks it sensibly into the pits and leaves the paddock with some dignity. Yeah. But yeah, messed up, man. Messed up.
For starter we're pitting, so trying to undercut probably the cars which were in front of him. That's actually quite a wise choice, I believe.
Yeah, nice job. And of course, Sherlock from Starkenborough doing his thing.
How's Gregor doing? Is he catching up at the moment? Let's have a look at the lap time.
Shall I ask him in the whisper, like, how are you doing?
Like, I don't think that would be a good idea.
No, I would be kicked instantly, and it would be the right call. But
yeah.
No chatting here.
410's quicker though.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's doing an awesome job. And actually, I want to mention Bono because he is doing such a great job too. Actually, at a couple of laps ago, he actually did 2 identical lap times. I mean, he's also very consistent right now. And amazing stuff from Bono at the moment.
Yeah, that robot, seriously.
Yeah, indeed. Gosby pitted as well, by the way. He joined in 6th position behind Greco, so.
Yeah, and it just lets us show how much of dedication, how much talent you need to beat Bono here. To tell you the honest truth, I mean, he was my reference point at the start of my FSR adventure. I was like, I'm gonna beat you. I never did. He is just too fast, and so are a lot of these guys. And to see a league with this much competitivity, that didn't went well, of competitiveness, that's the right word, is just amazing. And if you think, well, you're just a commentator, you don't know what you're talking about, just go to formulasimracing.net, download the mod and try for yourself. It's practically impossible to do the lap times these guys are doing.
For sure. And actually, Rolf van Starkenburg coming back to the race has done a good lap on his out lap. He actually jumped Calamy, so he's right now in front of Calamy's, and in front of him it's Dan Parisis. So we see Van Starkenburg now in front of Calamy's.
What's up with Gosby? Gosby make a mistake?
No, he pitted.
Ah, he pitted. Okay, no, then it's good. So many things going on right now.
Well, I think actually that Gosby managed to pass Greco, if that's correct.
Greco is still driving in 5th spot, but he used to be in 7th, but because of those pit stops, he got.
Oh no pit. Okay, we get.
Greco actually let him through.
Yeah, confirmation that he let him through. Yeah.
Really amazing, but nevertheless his choice, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's Bono House pitting, and he's coming outside of the out of the pit as well, and Peter Briljak just going just passing the second detection point of DRS. So the gap is about 4 or 5 seconds.
Sorry to interrupt you. We see Dion Costanov battling with Gosby. Gosby should have the move done here with DRS down the inside. Sorry to interrupt you again.
No.
Yeah, he indeed got the move done, so Gosby up to 3rd place. That's crucial for him to not get held up behind Costantino.
Yeah, either Dion didn't want to fight him, which is the case, or he just, didn't defend. I mean, he basically did no attempt to leave him behind him. But Martin Gosby just bouncing on through and mirroring Bono Huis here, because Martin Gosby is still smelling the victory.
Yeah, he must be.
I mean, he knows Bono, he knows his weaknesses, so it's really unfortunate for Martin to know that there aren't any weaknesses on Bono, I suppose. But
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true probably. But they're both on the same tire now, the super soft tire, so that's gonna give us a good benchmark on what their pace is like, I presume.
And you would expect it from me to say that I'm again so sorry that Morgan had a DC because I'm a Netrex driver, but seriously, I mean, just imagine yourself with Bono leading the race, Morgan behind it, and Martin Gosby in between those guys. It would be, it would be popcorn worth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but nevertheless, that's never going to happen, not in this universe at least, but maybe in 2 weeks in Suzuka.
And now comes Grego, by the way, on Konstantinov. Yep. Around the outside. What? Yeah, he's making.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Okay. So.
They let each other live there. And,
Yeah. Once again.
great move from Dion and also from David. David realizing that he's much quicker than Kostadinov, and he actually had to let him go. But yeah, so Dion choosing to not lose as much time in order to battle them, and Kostadinov now being under pressure by Jim Paresis in a matter of corners, I believe. It's still a matter of seconds at this moment, but that's gonna decrease rapidly. Maybe Dion should just, you know, face the facts. If a fresh tire driver is driving away from you with 2 or 3 seconds in 2 or 3 corners, like Gosby is doing now, or was it Grego?
Yeah, Grego.
Yeah, then he might has to press that pit button. He might.
Yeah. I have to agree with you. Don't know why is he still out there. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he wants to do one stop less, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, at the time David Greco passed him. Yeah, he's going already in the pit. He doesn't have his pit light on though. Isn't that causing?
He does for me.
He does? Oh, then it's good. Because if you don't, then you're gonna have that 6 or 7 second pit stop, right?
Yeah.
Because the digital crew is like, you didn't tell us, and you're like, well, you don't even exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it's epic. And what's also epic is Bono House here driving his lungs out actually, and Peter Brilliard within the second of him, and well, he already reclaimed his leading position, and Peter yet on older tires than House at least. So House is driving like we were used from him, like in last season.
Yeah, he's driving like a champ. I think that's the only thing you can say.
Well, if he still crashes, he drives like a champ purely because he is the champ these past couple of 1300 days. But yeah.
The only battling going on track. Well, we see Rob van Starkenburg who closed down Jim Paresis for 5th position. So, wonder what van Starkenburg is going to do here.
Okay, he's gonna pass Paresis, of course. Come on, Rob.
He's gonna have to wait for the DRS zone at the moment. DRS not being that what's the word here? Not being that effective around this track, to be honest.
It's maybe a 10th that it gives you, but nevertheless, it's a 10th. So on the press of a
it's
button.
2 zones.
Yeah, so imagine yourself if you had 10 buttons on your dashboard, you could, you know, get 1 second. No, but that's too silly of me. But Rolf van Starkenburg, one of those drivers that is really living up my expectations at least, because he's so incredibly fast and he's outbraking Paresis so hardly. He's so polite on his brake pedal, and it's just that there isn't any room to overtake that he couldn't overtake Paresis here. But he's definitely faster than him.
Yeah, he's definitely charging him, and in the meantime, Calamy's closed that gap down as well. So Starkenburg had the undercut on Calamy's, but Calamy's managing now to close up. Starkenburg's getting hell up here. It's not working in his favor, definitely not. He's getting early on the throttle once again. I think he's once again too far back to do anything about the position, to do any kind of position change right now. So I presume he's gonna have to wait for the DRS again.
Nah, he can't wait for the DRS. But you see Rob lifting, just lifting like there is no grip. I know in a clear area I can do this because there's no dirty air. That dirty air is just making him lift and making him lose another 2 or 3 tenths, maybe even more. Yeah, I really not hope it's the same in Japan, but imagine yourself the Suzuka S's, you know, with this amount of, I mean, that just shoots inside of my head, and I'm like, oh, we're in trouble, you know. So definitely a lot of action coming up. Now it's Rolf van Starkenburg on the back straight. You were right, though, Jeroen. He does need the second DRS zone. He's on the outside of the track. And he comes Calamy's stopping Rob around.
How?
Calamy's opportunistic with that move, and he's now instantly pressuring Paresis as well, and he's going on the outside, but he does it so, like the way it should be done. He should be able to get Paresis, and yes, so he is doing so. But yeah, that was really, really tense what Calamy's just did there. Yeah,
I thought Van Starkenburg was going to lose it somehow, and he managed to still get it. I honestly don't know how. Great save from him, but Yeah, that's compromising him for the entire stint now that he has some flat spots on there as well, probably. I mean, you saw a lot of smoke. So
But,
that's
but
a bad luck.
Calames wasn't able to give more space to Rob there. He would have hit the wall straight in front of him. So nothing more he could do. Although I don't think that a GT Omega is claiming that a precision motorsport car is outside of their line book. They're not reporting each other. However, Ivar just made himself a little bit of a gravel deposit onto his car. He explored the limits of the track and how to go over them, but that's just one cut, that's no problem.
In the meantime, we see Gosby, Grego in the pit, and Gosby all over Brilliak right now, trying to pass him down the inside. Peter leaves the door wide open. Here comes Gosby down the inside. Yeah, he should take him indeed, and he does so nicely.
Yeah, indeed, and Peter not challenging that. Defeats of accepts his defeat at this moment because of the older tire. Ooh, Jim Paresis, what are you doing? What are you doing? What happened there? Rob van Starkenburg and Jim Paresis are definitely in the clink. Let's put a replay of 20 seconds on that. Jim Paresis just going through the first corner with Rob van Starkenburg behind him.
Yeah, van Starkenburg hit Paresis under the braking actually. Yeah. That's why he let it through again.
Yeah, but there was some contact. There was definitely some contact there. With steering in, Jim Paresis, while he steered in for the corner, he hit the slightest form of contact with Rob van Starkenburg, which made Paresis spin a little bit. And Paresis is already gone again.
Wow, he saw van Starkenburg getting a huge moment there too, wow.
So he instantly reclaims that position as well.
Yeah, this is a bad few laps really from van Starkenburg. I mean, he's losing his race now here.
Yeah, let's see though. What happened there? Did he let him pass again?
Yeah, I think so. Paresis pits though, so that's gonna release van Starkenburg now. He will be happy with that, I'm sure. Oh, and we have another retirement. It's John Eric Saxton with suspension damage. Oh.
So, sorry, but to say again on that action, Rob van Starkenburg actually after that incident in turn 4 that just happened the last lap, Rob just basically let him go because he thought this is a wrong move of me. I'm just gonna postpone my accelerator and just let him go, give him the position back again. Well, that's clean and fair from Rob, and that's definitely, you know, his personality. He's a really friendly guy, but even on the track, as you see. But yeah, as Paresis pits, he well, at least he can't get a penalty for this. He gave the position back, so.
Yeah, that's fair racing, and you want to see that, of course. I mean, making a mistake, we all make a mistake. We all can make contact, but
but that wasn't really a mistake. I mean, the door was wide open.
Of course,
if you leave the door wide open and then you're gonna complain because a guy dive bombs you, I mean, there's no such thing as a dive bomb. There's a thing as leaving a gap open for another driver to come to, a realistic gap. You know? And for a driver, I mean, if you leave a gap open and you're being pushed off the track a little bit, I mean, that's part of the game. You know, if you know you're gonna lose that corner, there's no point into sticking your car into a gap that doesn't exist. You know, and then complaining right after. That's an Alan Prost thing to do. I mean, we're all Sennas here, right? So.
Very true. We all know the quote.
Except Morgan Morant, of course. I mean, being French and all. I mean, no. I think Morgan Morant is like a real version, but a better version of Jules Bianchi. A tremendous talent, but not yet having had a title. He did have some wins here, but you know, like yeah. So let's see here.
Peter went into the pit last time round, so he rejoined in 4th position. Should be his last stop. Came out on the soft tire, so yeah, that shows that he is going to go till the end on this set of tires. He finds himself in front of van Starkenburg, who's now behind him then.
Yeah, and I want to repeat once more that Bono Huis clearly shows which level he is and which level Morgan Morant is at this moment, because he has a 7-second gap to Martin Gosby, but behind that he's driving the same car, and if he wished, I'm sure he would get the same setup as Bono as well. Ivar Kalamees having to let go 22 seconds of his teammate. That's more than half a second a lap.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I meant earlier. I mean, Ivar, of course, he isn't into clean air. Of course, he's gonna lose a little bit of time, but half a second a lap, that's pretty severe.
Of course it is, and it's not great for him. Definitely not. And well, I mean, let's face it this way: being the teammate of Bono, you're not gonna have an easy season, do you? But I definitely agree with you. I mean, 22 seconds is a lot, and Bono is driving very well here. I haven't seen a single mistake yet from him, I think.
Wouldn't it be great if we just, I can't say that, Bono joins Netrex next year or that Morgan joins Precision. Both of those things are not going to be likely, but wouldn't it be great to just create a separate team for these two guys and they, had to be like Senna and Prost once again?
Oh, it could be maybe a little bit. Oh, that's what I saw. That Bono having a little bit of an oversteer moment, almost losing it, but saving it. But yeah, coming back onto that, it's a little bit. Maybe it could be a little bit like Helmut Rosberg this year. Who knows?
Yeah, no, indeed. Let's have them in one team and fight it out. Fair and square. But no, both guys are tremendously fast racing drivers. But I can't give this credit to Martin Gosby as well. Ivar Kalamees, he won the last race. He's now 22 seconds down on the lead, almost 23. Martin Gosby, however, 8 seconds he gives to Bono Huis. And Martin Gosby didn't start on P2 as well. He didn't start on P3 as well. He had to fight his way back into the top 3. And that cost him time as well. So it clearly shows that Martin is a great driver.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's doing an awesome job this race.
And the other Martin, Carlos Martin, who's already taking a siesta most likely with a big loss for Chata. I think he's a great talent as well. One of the greatest talents in FSR at this moment, actually. Remember, and I'm not saying this purely because he's a Netrexer. Remember Canada, where Carlos Martin in World Championship started from 24th position. He finished the race in 3rd place. I mean, being able to say those things are really,
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Really epic.
We have some action on track. Jim Paris's passes Rob Verstarkberg, I think, down into turn 3. They are still side by side coming into turn 4 now. Verstarkberg goes around the outside. Oh, and they make contact. Paris is spun.
Ooh, I do think, the way I saw it there, that Rob could have left a little bit more space to Jim. A slightly amount, but I don't know. I do think that was rather racy, and because Rob was on the outside, he really had to commit that corner, and he did leave a little bit of space on the inside. Yeah, well, this is part of racing, right? I mean, there's nobody clearly to blame for this action, and hopefully Eduard Malorki is not undertaking any more action. But yeah.
I have to agree with you. It seems like a little bit of a racing incident to me, at least. But we'll see what the stewards decide. I hope they leave it as it is at the moment. I mean, it's tricky there too, going side by side through there. I mean, it's definitely not a place really to go side by side through. And
no, but both drivers determined for that spot.
Oh
and,
yeah, of course.
Just Jim Paris is losing the battle there, but. Yeah, the knife always cuts on two places. Yeah, Rolf could have given him more space, but that would have meant that he couldn't do the move in the first place because there was no possibility to overtake. So, I mean, there was a realistic gap. He went for it, and unfortunately for Jim, it ended in tears. Erwas Masculi now into the pit and outside of the top 10 from Ash Racing. He's not yet one lap down. But if he continues on like this, he will soon be lapped by Bono.
Goes quite wide, his pit exit, so he lost time on the pit exit there in the chicane.
Yeah, so Bono really stable. And his lap time will be a, what is it, 28.111?
My live timing still needs to update as Gosby's in the pit.
27.784 is the lap time, the last lap lap time of Bono Huis. And well, he just increased his pace with half a second over last lap. Ivar Kalamees now takes second place because of a pit stop, I believe.
Yeah, Gosby entered the pit.
So I don't think that Ivar Kalamees will hang on to second place for too long, since he has Martin Gosby behind him on fresh rubber and fresh red super soft rubber. So
It's gonna be flying.
yeah.
We're still waiting then for Bono's stop, but I presume he will respond to Gosby soon.
Yeah, but for the moment it's back in the old school days with Bonnehuis having a gap over 20 seconds to his first guy behind him. But yeah, talking about tires, wouldn't it be great if like Goodyear came back, Bridgestone,
Michelin.
Yeah, no, I don't like Michelin too. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but
leave that one out then.
yeah, that was awesome. The time where Michelins and Bridgestones were there, you know, it was awesome.
Yeah, Bono pit by the way.
Except that one time in
USA.
America,
Yeah.
where there were only 6 cars, and I remember Thiago Monteiro being so happy with that podium there,
Yeah.
and Schumacher just looking at him like, dude, you know, stop.
Yeah, USA 2005 it was, I think. So.
Yeah, so Ivar Callame is here into the pits, and it releases him from any podium contention at this moment. And I say at this moment because we have still 12 laps to go, and there might be another pit stop following from Peter Biljak, certainly not from Martin Gosby, because he just pitted. And David Greco, Dion Kostadinov, all drivers that pass him. And not Rob van Starkenburg though. Not Rob van Starkenburg, nope. So that's a 6th place that Ivar is rejoining the track. Winner of last race. So let's see here. Bono just 7 seconds into the lead at this stage.
Yeah, he's looking
Means
for
he
the win.
obviously pitted as well. Did
Yeah, yeah, he did. He went on to the super
okay.
soft as well. So he's
Good.
looking for the win now, I think.
he? Yeah, obviously. I mean, when you have a 7 seconds lead, you don't just spin your car, do you, Jeroen? Okay. Yeah, sorry for that. That was just too easy of a joke to make.
Well,
But,
well,
no,
it's,
but
it's the truth, you know. So
yeah, if you didn't spin, you would have won your first race this season. Jeroen, come on.
Yep.
No, but you will get there in Suzuka. You will get there, I'm sure.
Nah, we'll see.
And otherwise, we make sure. No, joking.
I want
But,
to make it exciting for you guys. So.
Oh, that was certainly exciting. I was in the commentary booth screaming like, Jeroen, no, what the hell? But yeah, that was an absolutely stunning last lap. However, we're not seeing a replay of the pro race from this morning. Certainly not in the excitement that we experienced the last lap of that. Purely because, you know, Bono being can only be followed or challenged and being defeated this season by Morgan Morant effectively. Well, Morgan is out of the race. We don't have to repeat that for a 14th time. But yeah, he's just cruising home. He got a 7.5 seconds second gap to Martin Gosby, which will well be 5 or 4 in the next laps, I'm sure, because you know Bono doesn't have to push. He can basically you know put it into cruise mode for his measures and you know get the victory and get those 25 points in the bag, knowingly that Morgan is having a 0 today. So.
Yeah, how much will this spice up the championship as well with just 2 rounds remaining and after this one?
Oh, it will spice up like a red pepper. Like it will properly spice up. I mean,
Yeah.
Morgan Morant will have it in the back of his head that Morgan Morant, lol, that Bonnehuis is coming, and it's really unforgivable if something happens again. And well, let's just hope for the sake of everyone it doesn't happen again. But if it does, then that leaves Bono with a really small gap. So this already being decreased so much. I mean, this is round 10 out of 12. So basically, if the gap wouldn't be decreased so much, Morgan could have been, you know, the champion. Even if things were, you know, to go upside down. If Bono didn't finish. Fortunately, that didn't happen as well. And yeah, the championship is alive once more. And yeah, Bono would have perspective these last 2 races. And I do think that even if Morant went second, the championship lead is around what, 40-50 points, and that's just too much for drivers of that caliber.
Yeah, I think the gap is 35 points. So
yeah. Oh, it's even now. So like,
oh no, not right now. If Bono
go on your
wins,
laptop and do it.
I think this is a calculation 170. So I think he will be 10 points down on Morant, Bono that is. So
Yeah, after this race.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean 10 seconds is a lot more than over the 25. So yeah, we're basically gonna see this one through. But I mean, would we get a new world champion is my question. You're gonna find out within a month's time. But I don't know. It would be an amazing achievement for Bono to make it 5 in a row. It would be a completely big achievement on itself as well, to be the guy that got in 4 consecutive world championships. So and what's happening to Calamis now? Calamis is challenging Greco here.
Look down the inside. No, that's not gonna happen. But they are all behind Kostadinov here, battling for 4th position. This could actually be a nice battle here for them for a couple of laps.
But this is not something that Dion Kostadinov is waiting for. Dion actually told me that you know, he's a little bit, you know, unfortunate this season. He has been in some great scoring positions, but nevertheless he couldn't, you know, take the points home because there were certain things happening on track or he made a mistake. You know, this is actually a nice chance for him to say, okay, I can get the 12 points to my own team, and where he's the head chief of, well, let's just hope for his sake he is going to, because he's definitely a driver that deserves it. He was so fast last year. It was really amazing, and to see him drive like this is really really making my head nod. Like yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
And just like Greco, I mean, last few races, he almost looks like a championship contender. If we would have if this would have been the first race of the season, man.
Yeah, he has been superb.
Yeah, definitely, and he would have won last race as well if he didn't drive over that piece of cardboard. So
yeah, very unlucky for him.
Yeah, he actually made a 720 flip and whatever. I mean, it was epic that he still finished that race in the points. It's an absolutely amazing achievement on itself. But yeah, back to the leader of this race though. Bono is just increasing his gap towards Martin Gosby with another second. So it's 8.3 at this moment. Peter Biljak following Gosby on 7 seconds. So that's 15 seconds that keeps Bono and Peter Biljak apart. So the podium is pretty much sorted out with 8 laps to go. It's only about 25 kilometers.
Everything can still happen, I think, for that 4th position, although it's all about making no mistakes right now. I mean, once you make a mistake, you can count that the driver behind you will take that opportunity. And actually, Luke, who was appearing there in the background, it is actually Rob van Starkenburg. Let's look at his lap times. Wow, okay, he is 1.5 seconds quicker a lap than the guys in front of him. He's gonna join that fight as well.
So Ivar's gonna get the message this time and saying, well, Rob is faster than you, you know? Can you repeat, can you understand that message? No, but he still has to do the passing part. I would definitely give it to Rob, just because he had some issues this race, also with Jim Paresis just a minute ago, and I know the guy. He definitely deserves this, but you can only deserve it if you truly turn it into facts. He already catches the guys in front. Passing them is a completely other thing. Definitely when you meet names like Calamis, Greco and Kostadinov. So Kostadinov definitely, sorry to say Dion, but you're definitely the underdog of this pack. But you do have the best papers in 4th position. So you have a tremendously fast Brazilian-Italian driver named David Greco behind you, and he's just gotta work with that pressure now.
It's hard to cope with the pressure for a couple more laps, but yeah, if he just keeps his head cool and make no mistakes, I think he's sorted out, because he does seem to have quite a good straight line speed as well, and it seems to be tough for Greco to pass him at the moment, as Rob van Starkenburg indeed now I think we can say that he joined the battle. And bear in mind that Rob still has some damage on his front wing. He lost his front wing end plate, I think, or something like that. So it's affecting him ever so slightly, I think, not a lot, of course.
Yeah, what you're seeing here from Rob is pure determination, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the car, it's his determination. Now, Jack Keithley actually is teammate driving behind Rob, well, with 20 seconds to spare, 15 or something, so he's pretty much out of contention. But let's see here if Rob can make some things work, because he has a big wall of dirty air there. And he managed to, he's coming outside of the dirty air line now, but you can see that Rob is just fighting along. He only needed a few corners in order to catch up with these guys, but passing them seems to be completely a different world.
Oh,
Dion is now comes defending, and Greco takes an opportunistic move from the outside. Can Calamace join it? No, because Dion is closing the door. Calamace is not giving up though. This might allow Van Starkenburg to make a move in. I did see a reddish color coming off the car of Kostadinov. I mean, if that car is gonna blow up, I'm gonna lose my mind here. So it would be too much unfortunate situations for one driver specifically. And it does seem he has some sort of a problem, or he's just defending rather hard from Ivar Calamace. Calamace now touching the ground.
Tires are just giving up on him, I think, at the moment, compared to the drivers around him, especially Verstappen, who's quite new, fresh tires.
Yeah, and talking about the tires, new and old tires, the difference between is just so big. We have seen Valtteri Bottas in Singapore with Jan-Erik Vergne, just, you know, cruising by in the last lap, making up 5 seconds. So, yeah, no, it's a humongous difference. Can Dion, however, get it? Here comes Ivar Calamace. Dion not showing any signs of defensive lines, and this really bothers me. I mean, he could have gone a defensive line, he could have made himself a little bit more wide. He's not doing so, and by not doing so, he lets Calamace through, and even Rob van Starkenburg is opportunistic as well. He doesn't want to let him go, Kostadinov, but he has no choice. Rob van Starkenburg on the fresher set of tires easily passes Dion Kostadinov, who loses out 3 positions in 1 lap.
Yeah, he was quite, well, as you said, it can bother you that he doesn't defend the inside down, but bear in mind that he didn't have DRS, so basically Calamace and Verstappen both had DRS in the first and second.
He should have gone
DRS,
on the middle of the track, though.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, if Kostadinov, if Dion would go on the middle of the track, he would leave Ivar with a decision to make. You know, either you go on the outside or the inside. You know, you're not gonna get an optimal line. He was already next to him, steering into that corner, so that corner was already him before he even had to make the corner. He had to steer in for the corner, but yeah, well, nevertheless, this is how it went, and well, hopefully next time around he can do it better for himself. But at this moment, yeah, his tires are just shattered. They're just shattered all over. And David Greco, Ivar Calamace and Rob van Starkenburg are just driving along. But Rob van Starkenburg having the freshest set of tires of this lot. But Ivar and David are just flying away. Surprising to see, though.
Well, that shows that the end tires are really bad. I mean, we saw Van Starkenburg closing him down with 1.5 seconds. That already says something too, of course. And well, now let's see if Calamace can keep up with Grego. I doubt it, but we'll see what's going to happen. If he stays within the DRS, he will of course get a little bit of a benefit and an advantage. But yeah, once again, I doubt whether he can really do anything about that position David Grego is in right now.
Yeah, the gap between Bono House and Martin Gosby stabilized. It's now 8.8 seconds with 4 laps to go. So if Martin Gosby wants to win, he has to do, let's see, for the fun of it, a few 120.6s at this stage. Which is rather impossible.
Yeah, good luck on that. There's a little bit of a battle starting to form as well down there. Whoa, I see debris. Out on track.
It's not Bono.
Is that a rear wing?
Well,
it's
down
in the top at turn, what is it? Turn 7, the exit of turn 7. Is that a rear wing? I cannot see. I think it is, to be honest.
Dino Paolini. It's Dino Paolini.
Okay.
He lost his entire rear. Uh-oh. What are you doing, Dino? What are you doing? Just park that car. Jeremy Simmons is coming on through. So let's hope he doesn't create any carnage. He lets Coleridge through and it seems to be alright. He's gonna park the car, I'm sure. Back to the racing though. It's not seeming that Rolf Starkenberg has the pace in order to make life difficult for David Greco and columnates, which I would certainly have assumed when he made his pit stop so later on. But yeah, unfortunately for him, it's not creating an opportunity to take 4th spot away from Greco. But maybe Ivar still is.
Ivar is actually driving really well here in the dirty air of Greco. It's not really. Oh, he goes very, very wide.
Commentator's curse. Don't say that again.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah. He went wide and he could still keep it, but yeah, as soon as you say that, of course, something's gonna happen.
Indeed. We are always wrong on that fact.
Yeah.
But Ivar is driving a steady race. He made up 6 or 7 places. He started in 12th, I believe. Rolf van Starkenberg started 11th. So he is doing a superb job in scoring. He made up 7 places in this entire race. Although, you know, for a driver of his caliber, it's still not enough. You want to have a podium at least if you drive for precision. Like Bono has done the past couple of years. He basically went outside of the top 3 for like since 1844. So really long, when people were still walking fast on movies. So, yeah,
a long time ago.
Really long time ago, and he will take the victory in 1.5 laps. And yeah, well, he surely deserves it. And with Moran not being there, I mean, you would say, okay, then Bono is gonna win. But yeah, it's just so unfortunate we didn't see the battle that we were hoping for. But for Bono, it's a big party tonight because he knows that he's basically back into contention for the World Championship. And I just feel so sorry for Moran for that, because it's fair to say that he has the edge over Bono this season. It hasn't been the case in the last 2 seasons. I do remember Canada last year, which was really catastrophic. Yeah, this year around, Morgan has just shown so much growth and so much adaptation to this. Oh, sorry to say, Janko Stinginov exits with the engine. So I believe the red parts I did see wasn't a glitch or anything. He
here comes
caught
Kellerman,
fire.
by the way, sorry. Here comes Kellerman on Greco around the outside. Oh, he takes him. Great move from Kellerman.
What a move of Ivar.
Great move. Again, indeed, Konstantinov out. Wow, that's gonna allow Kolarek into the points now.
Well, definitely nice for Coleridge. And wow, what an action in this last parts of the race. And talking about last parts, Bono is just now cruising. Oh, he's just braking at the 150 meter part. He really wants this win now. He really is taking it slow, and I mean, blame the guy wrong. I mean, he got an 8-second lap to Martin Gosby. You don't want to be a Pascal Wertheim or Welheim in Monaco, right? Like waving to your pretty cool high out one, and it's gone. Nevertheless, it's Bonohuis from Precision Motorsports who takes the Australian Grand Prix victory in 1 hour and 26 minutes. And I'm sure it's not the most beautiful victory Bono has scored, but it might be the most important one.
Yeah, I think he will be very happy with that drive. I mean, pretty
definitely.
That drive was just amazing and pretty faultless as well. Here comes Briljak to take home the podium spot, and followed by Ivar Kellermees, who then overtook Greco with a great overtaking move. He's gonna get 4th place, but indeed, I think Bono will be very happy, and he has the right to be very happy, of course. I mean, that drive was amazing.
Yeah, he was so stable, and even with Morant in the race, when Morant started to look unstable, Bono was still stable behind him. But so many DNFs and so many suspension failures as well, even a disqualification from Patrick Holzman, which I'm still wondering about what happened there. But yeah, definitely some late stages in the race where basically some surprises were taking place, and it allowed Antonio Coleridge to score 1 precious point for the Venus Racing team. So
yeah, here he comes across the line. Must be happy with that. There he comes indeed. off his happiness.
Yeah.
What a race we have seen, though. I mean, we got a lot from such a great battle. And Paresis, what is or Simoncic? Sorry, not Paresis, Simoncic. Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay,
Simmons
he had some
yeah,
kind of incident.
yeah, he had an incident early on in the race and he drove in 23rd place. So it would be amazing if Jeremy would have made it into the top 10. And you, of course, would be really happy since he's from Coast Fleet. But no,
Yeah,
but
as a commentator, I'm not biased. So
no, same here. But it was just a bad joke. Although Antonio Colares his second point of the season, and well deserved, I suppose. And instantly there is some communication between Ivar Kalamees asking Rob if he touched him, and he did say he did. But yeah, Martin Gosby showing really happy for a podium because it has been a while. Well, 5 races ago he won the race, so basically you have to shut up there, Martin. But no, really great for him. And Jack Keithley being really frustrated by the fact that he had to share a pit box with Ivar. But yeah, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. If you're in front of the guy that you're trading off, having shared your pit stop with, then you're obviously happy. If it's the other way around, you're not. But yeah, what a spectacular race! Even though we didn't see as much overtaking maneuvers as we would have loved to see, still a lot of action going on the track.
yeah, and might actually be a key race for the championship now that Bono is definitely back in for the hunt. So I'm sure this story will continue towards the next 2 races, and the next race as well, which is Suzuka, as you have mentioned. So I think this could be a key one, to be honest, with the disconnect from Morant. I think it puts Bono into a good position now that Bonnie, what the hell? Bono has
Buddy.
he should carry the momentum with him now into
Yeah.
Suzuka, and then try to challenge Moran. But I'm sure that Moran will do everything he can and put in a lot of practice time as well again, just like he always does to get a good result. And well, he really deserves it, of course. And it's a shame that we have seen him disconnected.
Indeed, and well, in 2 weeks it's time for Suzuka. What a track that is!
Yeah, it's one of my favorites for sure. I absolutely love the track, and well, I think we're gonna see some great racing there too, and with the beautiful S's as well, great section, very historical track. So yeah, we should be
great dirty. Designed by a
yeah.
Dutchman. Here I am. I'm taking credit for that. No, but yeah, definitely. No, by the way, the designer that designed Suzuka actually hated the designs of Thielke, so that's kind of I want to give you guys as well. So now, but almost wanted to say Monza. Suzuka is going to be an historic place to return in, and just imagine that turn 1 being taken by full throttle, and if you're about 5 centimeters off, your left front tire is making contact with the gravel, you already know that within a second you're in the wall, and that kind of mentality will, well, certainly bring the best above every driver here. And well, in 2 weeks time that will take place, but for now I would like to really thank you, together with Jeroen Kweekel, or as you guys like to call him, Jeroen Kweekel, to thank you guys for being here with us today. The season is only lasting for 2 more races, and you can still join us to try your epic racing driver skills. Just go to formulasimracing.net, download the mod, and get started from there. If you like to be more in a managing state, then there's always the League of Christian Smirnov, the fantasy league, where you can, well, no longer win great prizes if you just came in, but it's definitely a nice competition as well. For now, however, we all want to thank you for watching. Thanks to Sam Jones as well for doing the cameras, and we would like to see you guys in 2 weeks time. Thanks for watching, and have a great Sunday evening. Bye bye.